something that is independent, and we don't have any direct funding for being an association related to the Commission. So we have to start it, everything from scratch. And we had, on one side, to ensure that we had the means to start our activities, to get sources of funding. And on the other side, we have also to work on the more formal side, on the creation of the association, on gathering the first members, creating the first management boards, putting things into motion, and starting to create value for the associate. So this is what we've been doing through the last 2 years. Eva, when she will present the activities of SERN, she will tell you what has been done. Quite a lot already has been achieved, both in terms of funding, with the participation in 3 projects now, which ensure the financial sustainability of the association, but also on the formal side, with a progressive increase of the number of members, more regions adhering to SERN, and the formalization of the management boards, of the general assemblies like this one. So all the steps so that we may become a relevant player in terms of regional policies for startups, which is what we want to do. I just want to highlight that, even with very limited resources until now, which now began to take better shape thanks to the funding from the projects, we have been able already to start to initiate the mission that we see as the main mission for Startup Europe. And this is being a speaker and a flag bearer for the regions in terms of startup policies close to the European Commission and to other bodies like the Committee of Regions and the European Parliament. We cannot do everything at the same time, but we started with concrete activities in the area of public procurement. Eva will highlight that, and I think there has been a very relevant work done in terms of participation in the consultation launched on public procurement, innovative public procurement for startups by the European Commission. Our contributions has been highlighted by the Commission. This has also led to our participation in a Horizon 2020 project in this exact topic of public procurement, and all the work that we have done in this field, I think, has shown its results with the fact that innovative public procurement has now been considered as a priority for the next Startup Europe call, which Info Day took place last week in Brussels, which is now open with 10 million euros to be provided to regions and to local ecosystems with the deadline until March next year. So this is now open, and innovative public procurement for startups, which is clearly part of regional policies or national policies. So it's really something that is on the hands of regional and national governments. It's been something that we have been dedicating quite a lot of time in CERN, in conversations with the Commission, participation in consultations, and we can see the first political result. I think this is a good example of what we want to do as CERN. Yes. We want to take up what are the most relevant policies at regional level for startups, and we want to put them in the political agenda of the European Commission, of the European Parliament, so that this is then reflected in better support for the regions, for the ecosystems, and ultimately for the startups with better innovation. Of course, in order to do that, we also need to have projects, funded projects, and to do other activities, and this is what we have been achieving also in other areas. But this has been the first concrete area, innovative public procurement, where I think we have achieved good results. And now it's also up to the regions to come up with more suggestions and to use CERN as this political influencer platform that I think it can be. We have as assets, we have our own existence within Startup Europe. It's in our name, so we are a relevant actor within Startup Europe, and we are recognized as such by the European Commission. We have our presence in Brussels. We have these good offices in Brussels. You can see our meeting room, and this is open for the regions to use. If they ask us, if they consult us, if the room is available, they can use our offices in Brussels, the offices of ANOVA and CERN as a platform for their activities in Brussels as well. And now, thanks to the funding that we are getting through projects, we start to have professional staff in order to carry out this political and also operational mission. So this is what I would like to highlight. In order to continue with this mission, we need, of course, on one side, the support from the regions. We need more members, more visibility. It's also very important that those members that we already have, on one side, they continue to participate, and on the other, they contribute to bring more regions as members. This is extremely important. I think we are happy with the level of participation that we have, but the priority for the next years is to further increase the number of members and to try to reach at least 100 members, especially regions, within the next years. I think this is perfectly feasible. So this is the top priority for us. So we need this support from the regions, and we also need, you know, a strong executive and operational team. I think we have that. This has been quite until now mostly provided by us through ANOVA. In the terms of this mission that we were given by the European Commission. We are happy to continue to do it, but also enlarging it to other regions which are available to provide operational members in order to join us in some projects, in some tasks, or for some periods permanently at our offices in Brussels. We would like to do this more and more often with other regions, so doing these staff exchanges and being able to use the resources of the regions for our activities as well. So I think these are the main guidelines. I think we are happy with what we have achieved so far. Like I said, we started from scratch with zero funding, quite a lot of political support, but zero funding. So we have already achieved a lot in these last 2 years. We have concrete results in terms of political influence to show, especially in the area of innovative public procurement. We have achieved the funding that was needed to carry out the activities, and which allow us to have a balanced financial situation. So we don't need, at this point, any contribution from members. Like we always said, this may always change, but for the envisageable future, we don't expect any the need for any financial contributions from members. We see ourselves as being able to be self-sustainable. What we need is political and some operational support from members. This will be very important in order for us to continue to achieve our mission. So this was my introduction. So as the president of the board will be presented by Eva. It has now 3 members from the founders, from ANOVA and from BWCon. And the idea is that it continues in this limited number and very executive, very close to the activities, at least in the immediate future, but with further support from the members which are available to do so. So this is my message. Thank you again very much for participating, and I will now hand over to Eva for presenting the activities, especially in this year of 2018. Thank you.
Thank you, Eurico. So good morning, everybody. My name is Eva. I'm a project assistant at Startup Europe Regions Network since February. I will just ask you again to mute your microphone during the presentation because there is an echo. So first I will present you the current project and the proposal submitted. Then I will present you also the activities of SERN for this year and also for the next years, and our new members of the year 2018. Can you see my screen and the presentation?
Yeah.
I can see it as well. It's down there with the notes even.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first project I will present you is named Learning Accelerating Platform, or LEA. It's a H2020 project. The kickoff meeting was held in Brussels on the 15th of March 2018. So the LEA concept is to accelerate learn-tech sector, both from demand and supply side, using innovative procurement as a powerful tool. So LEA is preparing the first cross-border European public procurement of innovation. So this is a big work. And within LEA, CERN has different roles, but the first one is about dissemination activities. And we also contribute to the capacity building activities.
And I think that here it's important to say that the role of CERN is also to try to involve more suppliers. So companies, startup, small and medium enterprise that are developing technology for e-learning. So in case any of you is working with this kind of suppliers, please let us know, because the LEA project is launching a real call for public procurement, meaning the LEA project is preparing the call. The launch will be done outside the project, but still for us it's interesting to get to know companies that are doing that, because later, once the call is out, can be interesting for them to apply to this public procurement. It's business for the startups that are out there and are working on learning technologies.
CERN is also a partner in two Interreg Europe projects. The first one is named Enhancing SME Growth by Integration of Artists in ICT Projects, or its acronym RegionArts. So the project kickoff meeting was in Brussels, in our premise, on the beginning of June 2018. So RegionArts project seeks to improve the implementation of structural funds or other funds in the project partner regions, and for the promotion of collaboration between artists and ICT companies. And within that project, CERN will contribute with several inputs. The first one is providing input and participating in interregional events. We will also draft policy booklets, but it's already with the second one. And the last activities is external communication and disseminations. And the second Interreg project that where CERN is a partner is named Financial Instrument for Innovation, or ANOVA. So the project began also in 2018. The kickoff meeting was in Porto on 7th and 7th of July 2018. And so ANOVA project wants to improve the design and implementation of financial instruments. And we will do it by learning about innovation landscape and how it's financed in our partner regions. In that project, CERN will do some communication activities, and we will also provide them relevant knowledge and case studies.
I will just comment very shortly that RegionArt and ANOVA are Interreg Europe project, where some of you might know that the Interreg Europe project are mainly for regional and public authority. In this case, CERN is playing the role of advisor partner, providing input in the communication dissemination, supporting in the development of some publication, but it also providing some support, some advice concerning, for example, startup and in financial instrument, and for RegionArt, how we can try to link the startup and technology to artists. Sure, go ahead.
No, which are the countries working this project? Which are the for ANOVA?
For ANOVA we have Portugal, Spain, Lithuania, Greece, and if I'm not mistaken, we have Poland as well.
So Portugal, Greece, Lithuania,
Poland, Spain.
Poland and Spain. Okay.
Spain. And for the regional, we have Italy, Greece, Finland, Slovenia, Portugal again, and CERN with Belgium, I think, and Netherlands with the Eindhoven.
And this year we have submitted one proposal. It was a call for tender from COSME named Fostering Collaboration through Mapping, Analyzing and Interlinking of European Entrepreneurial Region. So the main objective of this call is to foster collaboration through interconnecting entrepreneurial ecosystem was once the EER labeled regions by creating some schemes for exchange of experience within these most entrepreneurial regions. And the second objective is to share our analysis to other regions.
CERN has been collaborating already with the European Entrepreneur Region before. We were mainly establishing some link with the awarded region. In the summer, EASME launched this call, so we took part in this call, which was coordinated by UNEO Research. And I think that in this call, we managed also to involve some of the CERN members. But this is, of course, mainly a call for the region that has some experience within this European Entrepreneurial Region initiative.
Okay, so now we will pass to CERN activities of the year 2018 and for the next year. So on the 8th of March 2018, we have organized a webinar on the role of multinational corporations in regional innovation ecosystem. I don't know if one of you was present, but the webinar was led by our Hungarian partner, and they have presented 3 different initiatives about multinational cooperation role in innovation ecosystem. So the recording, the presentations, and the minute of the webinar are available in our website in the section working group. So you can consult it when you want. We are also organizing a participatory session at the European Week of Region and City 2018. As our participatory session is on pre-commercial procurement and the challenges faced by regions and cities. So this session will highlight how public procurers can increase innovation from the demand side by paying the development and testing new solutions. So we will present 2 projects including public procurement. The first one is LEA, the H2020 project that we're a partner. And the second one is a project from one of our member cities of North Netherlands, whose name Startups in Residency. So you are all welcome to attend our participatory sessions, and you can register on our website in the section events until the 28th of September, so next Friday. Also on the 6th and 7th of November, the first exchange of experience of inter-Europe projects ANOVA will take place in Brussels. So you can You can have more information on our website on the section projects. And SERN is also involved in webinars during this year. So we are involved in LEA webinars. They are taking place every Wednesday at 10:30 Brussels time. The first one was yesterday, and the topic was what is innovative procurement, PCP and PPI. So you can attend every webinars. It's only during session, and it's open to all of our members or people interested in LEA topics as funding procurement, proposal preparation, and open market consultation, and of course about public procurement. And we will also organize another webinar, normally at the end of November or beginning of December, with the region Île-de-France, about startup ecosystem and support to startup in the regions. So we are discussing about it now. So when we'll have more information about it, we will send you all the information needed. And of course, everybody is invited to attend this webinar. It can be really interesting for the regions to know more about this region. Was a really big startups ecosystem. What are their initiatives to support startups? Also, all year long, we are publishing at every end of each month our newsletter. I think everybody should receive it. So we are trying to find all the relevant information about region startup for our member. And of course, we also encourage our member to take part of this newsletter and submit some articles, news, or events we want also disseminate. So for the newsletter and the website, if you want to share an information, an article, please do it before every 18th of each month, as it we can sometimes to work on the shape and disseminate it. But you can also, all months long, send us some information that we can disseminate on our social media, so on Twitter and LinkedIn. And as Eureka said, we are also providing recommendation about position paper and public consultation. We have done an answer on public procurement of innovation, which is available on our website. And our recommendation have been taken into consideration for the guidance innovation procurement of the European Commission. So it's really good news, and we want to disseminate that also to all the relevant stakeholders. So we have done with the part of SERN activities. I will just present you briefly our new members for the year 2018. So the first one is a Slovak business agency, who is a non-for-profit association for the support of small and medium enterprises in Slovakia. We have also CEI Asturias, so it's named Centro Europeo de Empresas e Innovación, who is also a non-for-profit association who provides support to entrepreneurs. The third one is Institut Valencia de Competitivitat Empresarial, who support companies in matter of innovation and entrepreneurship. And we have also the Northern Ireland Local Government Association, who won 2 years ago the EER label, and who is a representative body for local authorities in Northern Ireland. So as you see, CERN is growing every year and is attracting new members. And we really want to reinforce our community. So that's why I just want to remind you that the membership of CERN is open to any legal representative of European regions, development agencies, and every stakeholders that contributes to the development and implementation and supporting startup in Europe. So if you have some contacts that can be interesting to become our member, please feel free to talk about them of us, and we will be really glad to present more in details our network.
And now, as Enrico mentioned before, it's time to reconfirm the board. The current board of CERN are the founder, co-founder that created board CERN 3 years ago. So we have Eurico Neves, we have Matthias Junger, which today is represented by Vito Vieira, and Pedro Castro, which is the financial officer. So we would like just to ask a reconfirmation of the board. Maybe Eurico can say a few words about it.
Yes, so this has been the operational board since the creation. The CERN was created by ANOVA and BWCon in Heidelberg, so me and Matthias, and then as soon as operation started, Pedro joined it as financial manager, which is also a necessity according to the statutes. So we have for the moment 3 members. This is the intention to keep for the next year. We are all very operational and involved in obtaining new activities and projects for CERN. At a certain point, if the size and activities justify it, the board can be expanded. So this is in the medium long-term strategy. But for now, we suggest to keep it with 3 members, and if everybody agrees, we will keep the same board for the next year. If anybody would like to have other suggestion, please let us know. If not, we will say that is confirmed and we move on.
I think
okay.
We can.
Okay, thank Enrico for your great job. Your work has been beautiful, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Gracie. So we'll continue to try to enlarge the activities, get more members, and get more funding so that we can do also more activities. Okay, thanks. So we consider to be formal reconducted, and we can move on.
So now we pass the floor to Pedro Castro for a very short financial overview.
Hello, everyone. This is the profit and loss account concerning CERN for 2017. That also includes 2016, according with the Belgian rules. Only on 2017 we need to send the financial accounts. So concerning 2016 and 17, what you have here is essentially the main costs for the implementation and establishment of CERN, according with the national and Belgian laws. This concerning the fees of the lawyers and registration. So concerning 2017, we don't have too much cost and at a loss of around 2,000 euros. Concerning 2018, we can move from the next slide, please. So you have here a forecast where we can include where we could has turnover all the amounts concerning the 3 projects that we have now in implementation, Leia and the 2 Interact projects, and of course this each project has their own costs, not only travel, but always some of the dissemination conference costs that need to be implemented, and also as Chiara and Eva referred, the necessity to have some staff costs to implement the project. So I would also to confirm that this staff cost is only for the people that are working projects. So and any of the member of the board do not receive any funds concerning the SERN. So this is also good, and I think it's important to inform you. And concerning the other costs, we think that we can have here, it's really important to have a profit situation concerning CERN for this year, because any other participation in other, or as in 2020 or another Interreg projects, we have to justify how we can, for instance, in the projects that have only 80% of VC funding, how we can support the other to 20%. So I think it's good to have here a profit situation for the association, and of course it's important. We are in fact in our first activity year formally, and we have a balanced situation, what is really good for the next projects and next proposals to be submitted. So this is the information we can share with some other information concerning each category, but I think that for this first meeting, for this first reunion, I think it's a good overview for the situation that we have here. So what, as conclusion for this, what we can say is that as we have a balance and quite equity situation, we are not going to ask for the associates of CERN any quote for this year. Let's hope for next year it will be same situation, but at least for this year we think we have a good situation, also because one of the projects we have advance payments that can in fact support all the activities for all the 3 projects for now. Okay. Any doubts?
Thank you, Pedro.
Very good.
Thank you. I think it's
Thank you, Pedro.
If there are any questions, I think we have some time to take them.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yes, it's Juan Revuelta from Foundation Finnova. I want to congratulate for the excellent jobs and this meeting. Perhaps it's not the right time to talk. I would like to propose some ideas for the next year, just in very small bullet points. First, we are now working with some regions out of Europe that perhaps they could be interested in become members. I'm talking of regions from Mexico, from Chile, or from Macedonia, for example. Yes, we could talk about that. Second, we have here, I would like to have a meeting with the people from communication. We have here in Brussels 7 people in our communication team, and I think we will have a lot of synergies in the social media. We have 2 TV cameras, etc., etc. Third, we are now launching the GovTech Startup Europe Awards that pretends to identify the best startups with solutions for the governments. We are doing in partnership with Credit Bank, that is a very important bank here in Brussels, and I'm pretty sure we can disseminate that through the network, because it's regions, public and there can be synergies between both initiatives. Finally, in our Startup Europe Awards initiative, also under the umbrella of Startup Europe, that we have planned like an open innovation methodology, we have the recognition awards for the public sector. When we are talking of public sector, we have 3 levels: municipalities, province, and regions. And for me, from my perspective, okay, again, SERN should have the role that SERN wants of the members as jury, but also to identify the best regions. Allow me to explain that the president of the committee of the regions, he has accepted in 1 month time, already time, to do a ceremony to do this recognition awards. Then perhaps we can, okay, we have some issues. Sorry, because perhaps I have told too much. And finally, about human resources. If it's interesting for CERN, we have, for us, it's quite important to offer opportunities, young talent. Then we could, what I mean, we are managing different programs for young people from Spain and from Italy, and they could come with a training, with a funded subsidy to help and to learn and to be working with you. Okay, that's some of the issues in this fast brainstorming. And coming back to the information about the info day of the 12th, that we are working in that, and we are working in a consortium that is linked to GovTech. Then perhaps okay, we could talk if okay, we are looking for partners. We have some interesting partners. We will be in Paris in November in this big event about the GovTech startups. Okay, I think this dimension, legal dimension about lobby, public procurement is quite important for us also. And okay, we have some experience in the live call and in Horizon 2020 in Novel Grid, that is smart grid, renewable energy, in this part of green public procurement and energy efficiency public procurement. And that's it. Thank you very much for everything. And whenever you can, I will be more than happy to visit your office and to discuss some points of this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Juan Manuel. Yes, indeed, you bring in many issues, and I think that all of them are very interesting to further explore. So I think that we fully agree with including members from non-European region. We have actually one member already present today from Georgia. So for sure, green light to Mexico, Macedonia, and Chile. Maybe we can discuss detail later on. I think we can also talk a little bit more about the GovTech initiative. If you let us know maybe the date of Paris event, we can see if we can be there, because from Brussels it's a relatively easy travel. But overall, I think that yes, if we can maybe set a meeting to talk presentially here in our office, or we can come to your office, would be great. I think that we can explore this collaboration and do more things together. Indeed.
Okay.
Perfect. Whenever you want, even if you have time tomorrow, we will go to your offices.
Okay, thank you. We'll send you an email later on to agree on time and date. But thank you very much.
Could you? I would like to ask you if it's possible to receive by email the slide that you sent us for the board.
Yes,
and I would like to know if somebody of you will be on Monday and Tuesday in Brussels. It will be nice also to come to your office too. I don't know if you have time on Monday, or Enrico, are you there on Monday?
Let me check. No, Enrico's gonna be here. Enrico's gonna be here for the event on the 9th of October.
Yeah.
So if you want to meet Enrico, we can set a meeting for the 9 afternoon or 10 morning.
Okay.
We are based here in Brussels, so we can meet when you want. Next week,
Okay.
Monday and Tuesday, I have already something. But for example, Friday is a much better day. Next week, Friday. But we can talk by email.
We will talk later. We can talk later.
Yeah, but we are available for a meeting, no problem. If you would just want to meet us, it's easier. For meeting Eurico, you have to wait a little bit more, but I think.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry.
3 weeks, it's not very. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, about 3 weeks. You're welcome. So, if there are no other questions, I will. Yes, sure.
We could also ask other members, members of from other countries. I'm speaking, thinking about Bosnia and Serbia. They are very active. So, do they need to be a startup, or do they need to be regions?
No, we are open to region, meaning public authorities, but also no-profit association.
Okay, so
agency.
I can also introduce CERN to them. Okay.
Sure, you can. Thank you. That's very, very welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Can I have a question?
Sure.
This is Miriam from Georgia.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. First of all, thank you very much for a very interesting and really detailed overview. We will again appreciate to receive these presentations to go through all the details internally. On the other hand, I had a few questions. Maybe you have covered, but the thing is that Georgia has been a member of CERN already more than a year ago, but still we see that, like, we think maybe because this is because of our kind of being not so active, but we want to take the advantage and leverage the opportunities and become even more active this year. So in this regard, on the one hand, we would appreciate if you could guide us. On the one hand, we will see the events which are planned to participate and meet directly, and also spread this information to our beneficiaries. But also we would be happy to be connected to the, like, one of the most active members who can share the experience, how to leverage the opportunities from CERN. To just share the experience, how, like, what ways they have gone and what would be better for us. On the other hand, please note that we had some structural changes. We were planning to host CERN event in September here in Georgia, but it's slightly postponed, and we'll be happy to resume this dialogue after we finalize the structural changes. But on the other hand, please note that we just yesterday had a meeting with the Minister of Economy, who is supervising our agency, and we were discussing about the public procurement initiation for the government, like government incentives for promoting public procurement for innovation. And this is like understanding the LEA opportunity would be most appropriate for us. So we would like to be very much involved in this initiative, and would appreciate if you could provide us more guidelines how we can be part of this initiative and how we can replicate it in Georgia.
Okay, thank you, Marian. So I will start from the end. Concerning LEA project and public procurement, LEA is foreseeing to have observer, kind of followers that are interested in the initiative. So there is, Eva will send you the link of the website and where you can register, and there you will get all the information, guideline, webinar, activity organized within LEA project.
Excellent.
Second point concerning the event that we were planning in September, don't worry, we understood that sometimes there are constraints. We are still very happy and available to organize this event together with you, to visit you in Georgia. So don't worry, let us know when the best timing is coming, then we can start talking again. But don't worry about the delay, we are here, we have time. Concerning so the other 2 points were be talking with one of the more experienced member about being involved in the activities. Yes, we can put you in contact with one of the member, very active member, and you can have a bilateral conversation directly with him. And concerning the event, I think that CERN is normally participating in an event here in Brussels. But we have our agenda for event. But if you spot some event that is interesting and where you cannot be present because you are not going to travel from Georgia, but you would like us to represent you, then just let us know. And I think that we can do it. Of course, this event is also interesting for us about startup program region. We are happy to be there. And we will then report very short minutes to you.
Excellent. Maybe for this, we can also share to you the kind of a small presentation about kind of our Georgian talking points with regards to the startup ecosystem, so that in case we are not able to participate, we very much appreciate that you can cover also our topics.
Yeah, sure.
Excellent.
And concerning the general comment about the presentation, I confirm that Eva will be sending to all of you the presentation, so you can have it. And later on, we'll also share short minutes of this general assembly.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If there are no other questions, I think we are very much on time. It's 12 o'clock here in Brussels. And I would like to thank you, all of you again, for dedicating some time to our General Assembly, for continuing to collaborating with us. And I hope that this collaboration can just improve in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Take care. Bye. Have a. Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.